Please welcome Pelt8 and Julian.
Thank you very much. My name is Julian Osborne. I'm the CEO and founder of Pelt8. I'm very happy to be here tonight. We already heard from Corentix and Michael how ESG and sustainability data is becoming more and more important. If you look actually at the number of companies that are currently asked to report on their sustainability data, this is roughly 2,000 mainly listed companies. This is going to change dramatically over the next couple of years. So by 2024, companies with more than 500 employees will be asked to report on their sustainability. And by 2026, it's companies with more than 250 employees. And it's not only new companies that have to report on their sustainability, but also the quality of the reporting has to be on par with financial reporting, including the sign-off of AGMs. So this might seem quite far away, but we are expecting a bit of a panic moment in about a year's time when companies start realizing we have to really get this data sorted out. So fear not, what we want to do is make efficient sustainability reporting accessible to companies. So from it being a new topic with decentralized Excels and approximative reporting, move over to sustainability reporting leaders with a centralized tool and financial reporting quality. And we do this with our platform that has been live since September this year in various languages and various frameworks that we already offer on the platform. We've also integrated a CO2 emission calculator, so you can use the same data for your reporting as you can do for your emission calculation. And for next year, we're planning to increase this API strategy a bit more. So there are already 5 reasons why companies are becoming our clients. The first one is they save money. The second one is they diminish their chances of accidental greenwashing. And I'm happy to answer questions in the Q&A on this. The third is save resources on future regulatory changes, as this is still a moving target. Increase the quality of data and reporting, which is a must, as I said at the beginning. And finally, reduce the audit costs. So we started off talking to individual companies, and we got some, more to that later. But now we're moving over to multiplier cases. So this might be consultants or managed service providers that want to offer a solution like this to their clients. But this could also be financial service providers like banks and insurance companies, for example, like AXA, that want to offer green services to their corporate clients. Essentially, we really want to get ready for this panic moment that we see coming. And the last element that is part of this strategy is to emphasize this API strategy more, because we see ourselves establishing a very unique position in the sustainability ecosystem, where it is not only one vertical of ESG data. So for example, carbon that you can collect with the tool. No, it's across all 3 dimensions, and the tool integrates easily. So we can also already set up the tool in less than 1 day, not yet at half a day. We are a gateway to other tools. As I said, we have a carbon emission tool integrated, and it's super easy for consultants to set it up. That brings me to the business model. So right now we're focusing on a SaaS application with the main target group of 500 employees or more, falling in the middle 2 segments. We hope that in the future we can really develop the API strategy more. Essentially, it's about data sharing, but also about integration of third-party apps. So we could see a kind of Stripe strategy moving forward. Traction. So we've been founded Q3 last year. We've been through a couple of startup programs like the F10. We managed to raise 2 CLAs worth 220K and have finished our MVP in September. If you look at our revenues and pipeline, in January, we were in negotiation with our first client. Since then, we closed almost 100K, and we hope by the end of the year to get up to 50K annual recurring. That has been only possible thanks to a cool team. Gwen, my co-founder, who I'm not yet married with, back there. But I've known him for over a decade from the student organization called Isaac. Fred and Paula, where you also see the LPA logo. That's the company that bought the previous startup I worked at. So they were in my team for 2 years. And George has been the first developer we hired full-time. Also want to highlight 3 of our key investors that joined recently. So that's Antonio Carrillo, who's the global head of climate reporting at Holcim. He's seen a bunch of different tools, and yet he doesn't only give us money, but a lot of his time. And 2 serial angel investors with Andreas Betzner and Alessandro Toncha. So that's also why I'm here, not gonna lie. We're looking for 800K funding, hopefully to close in February next year. Mainly, well, big chunk for it is for product development to really get us into the place to capture this opportunity that we see, from Q3, Q4 next year. And that's it. And I'm really happy to take your questions. I'm already going to show the QR code so you can scan ahead.
Thank you very much, Julian. Any questions for Julian? There's a question.
There are quite a few companies in the ESG reporting area. What's unique about you?
So I try to, well, first of all, thanks for the question. We get that a lot. And that is a fact. There are a lot of companies there, and there are some old ones in there. But we really try to take these 2 dimensions into consideration. The ability to integrate not only with the company, but also with external tools like carbon calculators, but in combination with collecting all types of data, because the other tools that integrate easily are usually carbon tools right now that you see. So for us, it's the combination of those 2 dimensions.
One question from Katka.
Hi, Julian. Can you tell us, as you mentioned, how do you prevent the greenwashing?
Didn't say prevent. No, it's accidental greenwashing. So we've seen a lot of companies that are, it's chaos out there right now. There's so much happening. And we see a lot of companies who are just being forced into this space. We have one client that's asked by Chanel, give us your CO2 report in the next 12 months. Otherwise, we don't know if we continue operations. So what our solution does is give a knowledge platform. What data do you have to collect? How do you have to collect it? And provide the assurance process around it. So all of your data collection is also documented. So we give the foundation. It doesn't prevent greenwashing if you're malicious, but at least the accidental, as we call it, we can diminish. Yeah.
Julian, I have a question, obviously, from Oxa's point of view. You've done a POC, a proof of concept, or are you quite doing it right now? What have you done?
What have I done with AXA?
Yes.
Okay. So the case we did with AXA is kind of in the direction we're going with the multiplier cases. So we created a quick CO2 calculator with AXA together to estimate, give SMEs an estimation of how much carbon they're using and where. So this is a 4-month project that we started in summer and we went live last Friday. And it's part of what we call the sustainability onboarding module to help companies exactly with providing knowledge. What do I need to report? How do I need to report it? And by when? And carbon currently is one of the most important dimensions.
Thank you very much. One last question. Then I do have one last question for you, obviously. You elaborated already about the regulations. Maybe you can really give us a quick note on that. What's going to change in the regulation soon?
So in Switzerland, this will be announced in November, so this month, that the data that is collected from next year on, you will have to have an AGM sign-off in 2024, meaning you really have to have the processes in place to have non-financial reporting, the sustainability reporting on par with financial reporting. And this is for companies with more than 500 employees. And it will be is a copy of the, it's more or less a copy of the EU regulation that is basically lagging 1 year behind. But we really see that companies latest from January 2024 will need to have their data in order.
Thank you very much, Julian. Thanks for the questions and for the great pitch. Now I'd like to move on to the next company. He's already getting on